which is usually like 2 or 3 times only. But yeah. See, that's bad.
I feel like I'd discipline my team from getting tackled.
For some reason, yeah.
Are you from here?
Yeah, I'm from the coast, a little bit further east. New Bern. Probably haven't
Oh,
heard
I've actually heard of it.
of it. Crazy.
I honestly don't know a lot of places here. Like I still need the GPS to get home sometimes.
Fair enough.
So what's going on? Oh, I know.
Yes.
I'm scared to do like this. That's how I feel. I went out here. Oh, I kind of got it. So there are these
Yeah. And red with the like really short hair. She is.
Oh, she is?
Red right there with the bandana.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were like guy.
Oh no.
I know.
Jeff played rugby in college, and then started working here, and had a student who was like, "Hey, we need a women's rugby coach," so he did it.
Oh, one of your places.
Can we try getting on heads? Just start talking as if it was a normal game.
Hello, hello, hello. Check, check, check. Can you hear me? Okay. Check. Check, check, check. Okay.
Alright, we're good for the rest of the game. I'll try to figure out.
So when am I going up? Just now? Okay. How do you pronounce your name? What? How do you pronounce your name? Allison Carter. Allison Carter. I can go now.
Welcome back to Upper Method Field at NC State University. I'm Grace Motto, joined by Allison Potter on play-by-play. UNC with the lead. They scored a try, number 22, Macy, for Carolina. I have to say that was an amazing play. She basically took it from the mid of the field. What are you thinking about that, Allison?
Yeah, she did. That probably shouldn't have happened on an NC State defensive side. Our fullback was nowhere to be seen, but she took it all the way, and they missed the conversion after that.
So I'm Allison. I am lucky enough she has rugby experience. I'm more on the ice hockey side. So Allison, can you tell us what you're seeing so far?
So far in this game, I see it as a fairly evenly matchup. UNC looks more like they're playing their regular starting lineup, even though this is their first game of the season, with the NC State squad mixing in some rookies who maybe haven't had as many touches, but still fairly an equal matchup. NC State almost had a try in the very beginning of the game, which was exciting until it was held up by the Carolina squad.
I have to say I've been seeing fluid movement from both sides tonight. You know, NC State almost had a couple tries there, trying to get it in the try zone right now as we speak.
Yeah, they're having some good movement. They're definitely getting the ball out to many different players, which is a thing you really want to see. The back line is seeing the ball a decent amount of time.
They're just trying to inch right over into that zone.
It looks like the NC State forwards are starting a plow right now. Yes, they are. It's held up.
Oh, so close. A valiant effort on NC State's behalf. And NC State has already kicked off their season, which means they've kind of got the benefit of the doubt right now. They've got some early momentum, and, you know, that sharpness could give them the edge tonight. I have to say it's a beautiful night for rugby, a breezy 71.
It is. A lot of red and a lot of blue out here on the sidelines.
I was going to mention that too, because it is a rivalry game for both teams. Ooh. We see some offense being created by NC State.
Scrum half Libby Anderson just got into the game, but is making herself known for sure for NC State.
Chapel Hill has been very great on their tackles. I feel like they have really kind of possessed the defensive end of this game so far. But, you know, we have 12 minutes left of play.
Penalty. The ball's going to Carolina. And it looks like they're setting up some pods.
Let's see how NC State will react to this.
No, they may be setting up a back play. Ooh. Solid ruck formed by UNC, but NC State tried to get through it right there.
NC State reacted very well to that. Oh, NC State trying to push them out.
Ball on the far wing. And she goes down.
Whistle blown.
Penalty. Ball goes to NC State.
Oh, we get to see a line out. Oh, no, we don't. I misspoke.
A pod formed by the NC State forwards.
Great momentum there.
Another pod. UNC is attacking the NC State rucks very well.
I really have noticed that. I feel like anytime they anticipate NC State's next move.
That's for sure. A pick from the NC State.
We got a ruck being formed. Oh.
Trying to get that ball out, but crashing right before it gets to the wing. And sending the ball back the other way into a forwards pod. Almost broke the line right there.
I have to say that change of direction really changed that level of play. I don't think Chapel Hill was expecting that.
I agree.
Oh, Chapel Hill escaped with that.
Oh my goodness. With the kick, and they kicked for a touch. That'll be a line out. Fairly common strategy just to get the ball out of your territory.
I feel like that's the best move to get the ball out of the D zone, is to just kick it. I feel like it goes through like less amount of people, but unfortunately they kicked it out of bounds. So now we'll get to see both teams' lineouts. All right, NC State one possession.
A jumper fallen. You don't want to see that no matter who you're rooting for, but Everything seems safe. That's going to go to a scrum.
Now, is this like an even strength scrum, Allie?
No, it's going to be a Carolina scrum.
Okay.
Yes, that jumper falling was a penalty on our part somewhere in there. And so UNC will have the ball. I feel like our scrums have been fairly evenly matched. You see they seem solid right there once we start pushing. No movement. That's pretty good for both teams, I'd say. Fairly good tackle attempt, just did not stick. UNC moving the ball fairly well out to their wing. I'm seeing some red over there, though, so it might be a good thing for NC State fans. Ball dropped, no advantage, it looks like, but NC State has the ball. A pick and go by the scrum half. So this will be another pick, likely right here.
That was kind of a clean break right there.
That was good. Some meters for NC State going forward.
And those meters add up.
They do, commonly called hate meters when you're just trying to get through it even though there's hands all over you. UNC winning the ruck right there with the ball. But a penalty, that's going to be NC State ball.
Let's see what kind of offense they can create with this.
Yes, looks like they were given advantage prior to UNC winning the ball over, so it went back to where that initial penalty was, and NC State gets the ball. Sending the ball towards the far sideline, out on that wing. And coming back this way, pushing through that UNC defense as much as they can.
I have to say, NC, it's just a whole sea of red out on the field right now. That's all. I'm trying to look through it, but I can't. I can't really see. Oh, whistle
A
blown.
knock on by Carolina, it looks like. That's going to be scrum.
So what are the strategies for these scrums coming from you, obviously, with some rugby experience?
Push hard and don't get hurt.
Hey, straight into the point. I like it.
I kind of like to tell people it's like an organized 8-on-8 wrestle, but if it's really mixed matched, it's really when you can push people around. But tonight, like I've said, we've seen it fairly even, and so whoever has possession hopefully will end up getting the ball out of the back of the scrum.
And there is strength in numbers. I have definitely seen it. I have to say this is my first rugby match I have ever seen, but just as an onlooker, I have to say just getting strength in numbers is unreal.
Yes, we just saw a pick by the 8-man. Sophia, we also call her Couch because her name is spelled like sofa.
I think that was the kind of bump that NC State needed.
I think they're going for the maul again. And once again, it is held up. That's the second time we've seen an NC State maul or plow get held up in the try zone.
I think NC State really is getting kind of amped up about that. You know, you hear the sidelines behind us getting a little testy about that.
Carolina kick, and they kicked for touch. It's going to be a line out. Yeah, loud sideline tonight. Usually louder. There's usually a cowbell.
No, I did hear the cowbell actually in the first couple of minutes. I have to say that the energy on NC State's sideline is unmatched, truly.
But Carolina looks like they have a good crowd out here tonight as well.
Well, there's always something special about these rivalry games.
That's for sure.
When you pair it with alumni weekend, it kind of takes it to a whole new level. trying to set up for this line out.
Carolina's matching numbers, it looks like. Maybe. Yep. The NC State line out. Almost stolen, but not. To the backs, it looks like. Pushing it out towards the wing. One more pass to that wing. But we're going forward.
What
NC State
fluid
going
moment.
down. That was some good passing by this Wolfpack squad.
It was very concise, I have to say.
But the ball is stolen by Carolina in a couple series of messy rucks. Penalty, ball goes to Carolina. Choosing not to go with a quick touch, they're setting up.
We have about 3 minutes left in this half. So Carolina's probably going to try to create some more offense. You know, they're up 5-0, but they are pretty close to their own try zone.
That's for sure. I wouldn't be surprised to see a kick here, but it looks like they're going to push it out. That's been working fairly well for them.
Carolina 22 with it. She scored earlier. She's a force to be reckoned with.
The fullback ran up trying to make that tackle, and there's no one. We have a wing dropping for NC State to cover that space. A penalty, ball going to NC State. Looks like they're running it off of a forwards pod. Pushing through that defensive line by Carolina.
That was an amazing play.
Another pod pushing forward, getting those hate meters. And sending it back out.
Carolina was ready for that tackle. They really anticipated.
And they
that
cleared
pass.
that ruck. The ball still stayed with the red NC State squad, so that was kind of miraculous. That was a good ruck by Carolina.
Go, Cavs, go!
Another ruck being formed.
We have a hurt player on Carolina getting in the way of the play, so they're going to
Take
break
a
here
knee.
for a second.
So what are you thinking about NC State's level of play so far?
It's good to see all these rookies get so much experience. We're having like an A-B mix out on the field tonight, and they're definitely holding their own. We're seeing a lot of rookies. Some I don't even know their names yet, but they're doing very, very good, making a name for themselves for sure. So I might have to learn those names.
No, I have to say that NC State has really held its own. If you told me that there were no rookies on the field right now, I would believe you. I mean, I feel like everyone is really taking their responsibility on the field. We did see a little mess up with the fullback not being in position, which ultimately gave
On that one
Carolina
try.
those 5 points. But I feel like the energy on this side, because I'm sitting right next to North Carolina's bench, I feel that they're hungry for a try.
They are for sure. Everyone's hungry to beat Carolina over here.
And we will resume play now.
Believe he just called a scrum. A scrum to the Wolfpack. With just over a minute left.
And then I'm going to get my tires changed.
And this could be the difference.
This could be their last scrum they had. It was an 8-man pick right off the scrum, and it turned out pretty well for NC State. Not sure if they'll do the same thing right here.
A lot of movement. Oh,
And
NC
they will!
State.
Pushing, just absolutely pushing through that UNC defensive line.
They truly powered through right there. Great pass right out the ruck.
Great pass. We're seeing a lot of red over there. Not very spread for NC State, but the ball coming back this way. That was a good push right there by Whitney Fitzpatrick coming off of a knee injury. It's very impressive to see that. The ball was tapped, but Carolina has advantage because they took the ball. They're headed for the tri-zone. There's no fullback in sight because it was right off of offensive steal. Carolina right in the middle of the tri-zone. Touched the ball down, and that's another Carolina try in a great placement for that conversion kick, might I add.
Say, Carolina number 12, Ashton, did a phenomenal job just turning on the Jets and scoring that try. Just looking out onto the pitch, that was an unreal play.
Yes, that's a good one. By one of the Carolina leaders, she was called up last year for a UNC Sevens ID camp. So definitely one of those leaders on the UNC squad. I believe she's also their recruitment chair. And the conversion's good.
10-0 as the buzzer for the half sounds. We will be back with more after this.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
We talk forever about the future, worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go, from ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make, with bright ideas, new tools, and a wolf pack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
Hello and welcome back to Upper Method Field. I'm Grace Motto, joined by Allison Potter. We are here at a rivalry game between NC State and UNC Chapel Hill. Allison, score right now is 10-0. What are your thoughts so far?
That UNC team, they're really doing well, just getting the ball and having really good runs straight into the tri-zone. They've gotten one conversion so far, the first one they missed. That NC State, they're having an AB mix right now in their lineup. A lot of rookies are out on the field, for some of them for the first time, and so it's really impressive just to see all these new players get experience and kind of hold their own.
And obviously team culture is a huge thing at NC State and for the NC State women's rugby team. I was listening to the technician article that Jeff Summers talked about, and he said ABCs, always be kind, caring, and what do you have to say about that?
ABC for sure, always be caring, anyone but Carolina is what we say around here. But yeah, team culture is big here. You see that with our sideline and our big alumni weekend event that we're having right now.
Alrighty, and we will be back with more after this.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
We are back here at Upper Method Field for the second half. We got 40 minutes on the clock. UNC is leading 12-0. What are you thinking, Allie? If you're in NC State right now on the pitch, what are you thinking?
If you're on NC State right now, you just want to grab this ball right off the kickoff and just gun it to the try zone as fast as you can. Get started with some good momentum. It's kind of what happened there in the first half, but those try efforts just kept getting held up for NC State.
And just watching the first half, I have to say, passing is of key importance here. You have to focus on maintaining the ball for long periods of time just to build a little bit of pressure.
Yes, 100%. And so hopefully we'll see that from the NC State back line. Right now, a good kickoff to that back corner of the field. A knock on by NC State. UNC will have the advantage if they gain possession here, which they do. So they will have advantage.
Kind of took their sweet time with it right there.
They did. They're in no rush. If the ball gets turned over, they just get it again because of that advantage.
A big hit by NC State on 23 on Carolina.
For sure, right after the turnover, so that ball's going to go to where that knock-on happened, right after the kickoff. For a scrum. Should be to Carolina, yep.
This is the first scrum of the second half, so we'll see who comes out victorious.
Did not even take a minute for the first scrum of this half. Not too uncommon, unfortunate if you're one of those forwards. I think a new squad across the board for NC State. See how they'll stand. Pretty solid before the ball goes in. Not much movement. UNC pushing forward a little bit in that scrum. A very aggressive NC State. And the ball's going to go back to a knock-on by UNC, a scrum to NC State.
First one of this half as well.
Big scrumming half so far. Oh my goodness.
Oh, we have another scrum. Excuse me.
Yes.
I have to say, last scrum, those NC State players truly came in numbers for the ball.
They did for sure. NC State seeing a rookie scrum half, and Carolina steals the ball. Their hooker just jumped onto that ball as soon as it went into the scrum. And Carolina took it. Here's a stoppage of play. Another scrum.
Back-to-back-to-back scrums. Is this another rookie scrum we're seeing?
I believe it is. Rookie Kaya is getting thrown into the match as scrum half. I believe she's played 2 other matches at scrummy. And I will have to say from experience, I've seen a lot of improvement from number 9, Kaya, on the NC State team. Ball's placed in. NC State's holding it, even though they're getting pushed back a little bit. Ball's getting out through the back, picked up by the scrummy, and the ball's out to the NC State backs.
See this push of offense coming from NC State.
A good switch over to NC State's center, I believe. The forwards are pushing through that. UNC back line. There's a lot of hands going on in that ruck right there. UNC grabs the ball and places it back, and UNC has the ball. Pushing it out to the wings.
Great lateral movement right there by UNC.
A bit of a high pass out to the wing for UNC. Still out on this wing. You can't really go any further this way.
Oh, right on the boundary line right there.
The ball was almost stripped by NC State, but gets placed back towards the UNC team.
See defensive pressure from NC State right now.
Pushing through the NC State defensive line up to the fullback, and the UNC run goes down. The ball was out of that ruck for quite a little bit of time before it was passed off to the rest of the team.
That was a great tackle by number 4 on Carolina right there. Kind of changed the momentum of play right there. Another great tackle there by number 4.
And see, UNC is really quick to setting these rucks, which is really what you want to see. Protect that ball as soon as it goes down. I think NC State could learn from that for sure.
And it seems like Carolina is a little hard to defend right now. I feel like even though NC State has been putting some pressure, we see this as a kind of back and forth game right now.
Called a knock on. That would be once again another scrum, I believe, to Carolina. Yeah, it's a Carolina scrum.
I feel like this is still anyone's game. We have 34 minutes left of great match play. What do you think NC State has to do differently?
Just more aggression when they have the ball. Pass the ball a little bit more. Get it further out to this wing instead of trying to crash. It really is what Carolina's doing in this game that's making them fairly successful. Passing the ball out and then running when they can't.
We've only seen one kick from Carolina so far.
Ball on the ground, but no one attacks it. Good tackle by NC State. Kind of stuck in the ruck there.
I feel like Carolina's motto right now is if you see something, tackle it.
100%. We're seeing a very aggressive UNC team tonight, which is ultimately what I think led to their 2 tries. A kick by UNC and a kick for touch.
All right, this could be a change of momentum that NC State needs. NC State is really close to their try zone. Whistle blown.
Whistle blown in the line out.
I think they're matching play right now. Carolina's matching NC State.
NC State wins that line out, getting the ball out to that back line. What you want to see if you're NC State is to just be passing that ball, and the ball's out on the wing. Going back to the center of the field, the ball falls, but it was backwards, so play will resume. Ball sent to a pod. A very interesting placement there under the ruck. Surprisingly, not the first time we've seen that belly up placement this season.
I feel like the ball has kind of stayed in this general area for quite a while
has.
so far.
With both teams in possession of the ball, it's been right around here. Now on the other wing, however, in a penalty, the ball's going to Carolina. They're going to choose to go with a quick touch. NC State cannot tackle her quite yet because they weren't far enough back. Another penalty. Ball to Carolina. Another quick touch. A big fall by Carolina.
See a ruck being formed.
A lot of people in that ruck, but not without NC State's attempt to counteract it. A lot of bobbling, scrum, ball to NC State.
Just watching that play, I have to say, Carolina has some players with some speed. I feel like that is their key to their game so far.
For sure, those 2 tries they had, it was speed and just breaking through that initial defensive line that NC State put up, and then they found themselves in the try zone, which is obviously where you want to be. Scrum to NC State right here, and the ball comes right back out.
Got to reset
And
up
that
this
will
scrum.
result in another scrum. If you're a forward right now, you're not loving this. See a quick sub for one of NC State's locks. Senior Paige Gill, also known as Blue, is going into the game right now. Now we have some interesting nicknames, but Blue just comes because her last name's Gill. Who doesn't love a Blue Gill? So Blue going in right now, number 22 has a lock.
Neither team really has the advantage right now.
Almost
I feel like it could
exactly.
be anyone's ball.
Almost exactly on midfield. You're exactly right. The ball comes right back out of that NC State scrum into a backs play. Ball's on the wing with a little bit of a stutter step on that wing coming back towards the middle of the field. NC State taking their time. Rookie scrum half Kaya just reading the field. What you want to be doing if you're a rookie, learn how to read the field. It's one of the most valuable skills you can have as a scrum half.
I feel like it's imperative to, even if you don't have the ball, know where the ball is going to be. Know where you want to be positioned to receive that.
100%. Another penalty. Ball going to NC State. With a quick tap in a pod formation.
Got a couple meters right there.
That's what you want to see if you're NC State. For sure.
And another ruck being formed.
Ball's getting out close to that sideline. If you're NC State, you want to think about start bringing it back this way to avoid losing the ball to a line out.
And this is a game of speed and strategy. We've seen NC State try to strategize who they're passing to, where the ball's going to go, but I feel like Carolina has more of that speed aspect.
I unfortunately have to agree with you there.
We've seen a strong defensive line for Carolina so far. It seems like NC State has barely gained any inches.
That's for sure. And NC State's still pushing the ball to that sideline. Almost all of the team right now is on the far side of the field. Even though UNC's defense is still spread out fairly well.
Would you say that a key to success is spreading out, going wide, or is it staying closer together?
I would say it's going wide. You know, ever since Pee Wee sports, everyone wants to be where the ball is, and that never really stops. So you kind of just want to get wide because that's where the people are. I mean, we see it right now.
Yeah, you need to create open passing lanes. You need to just find those empty pockets. That's how we saw Carolina's number 22 score the first try of the game. There's a stoppage right now. We have a number 7 on Carolina. She's lying on the pitch right now. And we will resume play.
Quick sub for Carolina. Maybe. Yep.
Like you said, they're still, NC State's still on that far wing.
No, if you're NC State, you want to be spread a little bit more. They'll kind of have to be right now coming off of a scrum. Looks like the ball is in our rookie scrum half's hands right now. So an NC State scrum, hopefully they can hold their own and get the ball right out of the back of it. An 8-man pick from Vivian. Strong and fast right out of the back of that scrum. Headed towards the NC State try zone. That's what you want to see. Ball to the backs. The backs are going to try to push that ball out right now.
That was some great movement with their passing right there. Trying to inch it right over into the try zone.
And that's an NC State try with a reach right over to touch the ball down into the try zone. The first one of the night. And a fairly good one, might I add.
We talked about it before about how NC State made it to the try zone, but Carolina got their hand right under that ball. You know, all that effort just to get there. I mean, NC State's, you can hear their cheers on the sideline right now. They're very happy to get 5 points on the board so far.
Rookie right here, Ava, nicknamed LA for Little Ava because there's another Ava. With the conversion attempt, the last time I saw her do one of these, she was actively being taught how to kick mid-game. Just a little wide, but the height was there, which is what you want.
It is now 12-5, UNC leading, and we have 25 minutes left in this half.
A lot of rugby still to play tonight.
NC State has that kind of advantage coming off scoring that try. Chapel Hill's got to pick up their defense right now.
See, when I started playing rugby, one key difference I saw is that after you score, you get the ball again. And so we're seeing that right now with NC State receiving the kick. NC State trying to use that momentum and getting the ball out on the wing to do so.
Forming a ruck on the far side. A great backwards pass right out of there.
Well, we're going to see if NC State can use this momentum, but the ball goes back to Carolina. A knock on, but NC State grabs that advantage because they got the ball from it.
Kind of a low pass right there.
Pushing the ball out to the back line, almost dropped. Pushing through that UNC defense. Hitting it hard, going down, placing the ball. After rolling a good bit, still legal though. Pushing the ball in a pod back towards the middle of the field.
After their try, NC State, you can really see the energy that truly brought to them. I feel like it kind of revived them. You can feel the energy on the sidelines kind of translating onto the pitch.
An NC State player down, stuck in that ruck. An aggressive game we've seen so far. A couple stoppages for injuries. You never want to see that, but it's rugby, it happens.
Yeah, I have to say, rugby, you guys don't have any kind of padding at all. Definitely a game of pain. And is NC State getting a sub?
That'll be a prop sub for NC State. I believe an area where they've been lacking in numbers. So they'll be able to put someone in. We'll see who, but before too long, we will have that 20-minute break just as subs because tonight is a friendly match. So subs are unlimited.
Nice to give everyone kind of a chance to play in this match against two really great teams.
Definitely. Now we'll see a scrum to NC State. They had a lot of success. They did an 8-man pick, and they're going to do it again. Vivian running the ball to that UNC defense, not going down until she has to get buddy tackled by the Carolina defense. A penalty, ball going to Carolina, I believe. Carolina was offsides on that tackle. NC State tried for the quick tap but did not play the ball from where the Sur
Fresh out of that scrum, I
placed it.
have to say that was the change. That was what NC State needed.
You know, we talk about just speed and strength and hitting it hard, and right out of that scrum, that 8-man pick has been doing very well for NC State tonight.
We've seen them kind of take their time with it, especially setting up their rucks. We've seen them take time, and I feel like that gives Carolina the advantage to see where they think the ball's going to go.
Yes, another penalty. Ball goes to Carolina, turnover.
Carolina's trying to get that tackle.
Big tackle right there. A buddy tackle by NC State. A big rucking game tonight. A lot of pressure on rucks. A lot of times we don't always see that. Just going to assume that they're setting solid rucks and not even trying to contest. But we're seeing a lot of contesting rucks tonight in a stoppage of play right now. Setting up another scrum.
And the name of the game has been scrums, I have to say. But this is how you get better at them. Keep trying. Keep pushing. Keep using your body.
For sure. And the ball gets out to Whitney. NC State's Whitney Fitzpatrick takes the ball.
NC State's ruck being set up.
Making their way over to the far sideline, trying to find some holes in the UNC defense, trying to push through. Getting taken down, but getting the ball back.
They're gaining more and more real estate towards the tri-zone.
That is until they knock the ball on. Another scrum, ball to Carolina.
I spoke too soon. Now we'll see how NC State actually will react to this.
And we're at that 20-minute mark. We're going to see a lot of subs right here. Potentially a whole new lineup for NC State. I don't know if Carolina has that many subs, but definitely they'll throw some new players into the mix that we haven't seen yet this half.
And when you were a rookie, what do you think was the hardest thing for you to not maybe understand or get used to when playing?
Aside from just trying to learn the new rules of a sport that honestly seems so foreign, learning how to get hit and not be absolutely terrified of it was probably the biggest thing, that going hand in hand with actually going up to tackle someone. When someone twice your size is running at you, you really have to teach yourself how to run back at them and not the other way. But it definitely comes with time, and this rookie class is adapting to that so well. In my personal observations, I think this is the rookie class we've had with the most experience, prior rugby experience. I know in my rookie class, I believe out of 30 of us, 2 of us had played before. Those numbers are a little bit more out of this rookie class of about 20 that we have this year. I like to call it the Alona Mar effect.
Yes, I am an avid Dancing with the Stars fan, and I have to say it was incredible to watch her as a Olympian bring the sport to more TV audiences, and she uses platforms like TikTok to grow the game. And I feel like we were talking about growing the game in Carolina as well. You were saying that Pinehurst has definitely seen an increase in rugby participation.
Yes, even right here in Raleigh with Raleigh Rugby, the Venom, the women's team, having a good showing. We had many players play for them over the summer for their sevens team, and we had a lot of summer sevens players out throughout North Carolina, even some up in Maryland.
I have to say it's now a really great time to be a female athlete with everything going on, all the sports leagues growing, and it's great to see participation. Like you said, this is your largest rookie class with experience.
That's for sure. You know, maybe you'll see one of them on Dancing with the Stars one day. You never know.
We can truly hope. If anyone listening has any connections, hopefully they can.
Yeah, let us know. We'll see a scrum here, a new scrum half in for the Wolfpack. For this half, Libby Anderson, we saw her play last half. Okay. Ball out on the wing for Carolina. Cutting back into the middle of the field. Carolina still with the ball. Pushing that ball, bobbling a little bit, but nothing going forward, so we're still playing.
NC State almost could have disrupted that pass right there.
Ball getting pushed out to the UNC wing, falling a little bit, but no whistles being blown. A big kick for Carolina out to the NC State fullback. Pushing forward through a sea of red and blue alike, just a lot of people.
NC State ruck. Great pass out.
And that's Whitney blazing forward through that UNC defense.
Just a couple minutes ago, she did the exact same thing. Was really close to that try zone.
A pick from the scrum half, Libby, the junior from Maine, making herself known out here on the pitch tonight. Number 8, Kiana, also trying to push through some blue jerseys. Taking your time here. If you're NC State, there's no problem with doing that if your ruck's not being contested.
Like you said, if it's not being contested, maybe take that time to look around, see who's open.
Pushing the ball further to the sideline for NC State. Close to their try zone, but just a lot of people. You know, if they make it in, hopefully this doesn't align with their history of the ball being held up tonight. Pushing the ball out towards the middle of the field. Big hit. There's a penalty. Ball going to NC State. Forming a backs pod. That's Kiana just blazing at that UNC defense set up right there on the try line.
She truly took that ball and ran with it. She got them truly very far.
That is for sure. And it looks like we're seeing another scrum tonight. Right there near that NC State try line.
It's a tale as old as time. Another scrum. We see Carolina trying to adjust some of their players outside that scrum. NC State is just ready in their points.
Ball falling out the back. Scrum half Libby taking the chance to pick. Ball falling out of the back of the scrum. Another pick from Kiana. Going towards the try zone. Getting taken down. NC State setting up a play. Ruck being contested. Scrum half once again goes in. Scrum half in the ruck. You're going to get another pick here if you're NC State. And that's exactly what they do.
If you're NC State, I feel like right now you want to give Kiana the ball.
I would have to agree with you. That means you'd have to find her when she's not the first one on that rug. Well, there she goes. And UNC grabs possession, kicks the ball out. Doesn't make it to midfield, but gets fairly close. NC State pushing the ball forward, trying to regain their field position. Not making it all the way back, but definitely running a little bit further.
Carolina did disrupt what NC State had going on close to the try zone, but NC State, I have to say, did recover pretty well.
And once again, there she is. There's Kiana pushing through that UNC defense, not going down until she absolutely is forced to.
She is truly a force to be reckoned with.
That is for sure. NC State still just trying to push that ball forward. A lot of people right in there. NC State trying the plow once again this game. They've done it multiple times, not successful. And once again, the ball's held up in the NC State try zone.
If you're NC State right now, you're trying to figure out how to get the ball back there.
That's for sure. Now Carolina with the ball.
It has been in North Carolina's zone for the majority of this half, I have to say.
Yeah, some big defensive moments for UNC, but obviously they've held their own, limiting NC State to only one try this half. A blocked kick for NC State. You don't see that every day in college rugby. With a player down for NC State. Man, what an aggressive game.
I have to say the level of play definitely was turned up after, I don't want to say that water break, but it seems so.
You know, hydration will do big things to people. And I guess it did for this NC State team. And UNC, you see them, they're taking advantage of this player down. Not sure if they're taking subs, but they're definitely going to talk to their team, clipboard in hand.
And NC State is still in this game. It only takes one more try and one more field goal.
Close enough. Conversion.
Conversion. One more conversion to stay in this game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If you're NC State, you just want to keep pushing. If you're UNC, you want to hold your own territory. Obviously, they have had some really big defensive moments in tonight's matchup, and they want to keep that rolling.
After that kick that Carolina had, I would hate, you're so close to scoring, and then all of a sudden just turns over and goes the other way. But I have to say, NC State truly recovered nicely after that.
They did. A nice little reset can be helpful sometimes.
And that's a difficult angle to come back from.
That's for sure.
They brought them down kind of quickly in that half.
Definitely. NC State's looking for their first home win tonight. So it'll be a big moment on Alumni Weekend if they can score again at least one more time and contest this Carolina defense. And in Carolina's first matchup of the game, this really is what you want to see.
I would say it's a close game. You know, you have only one more try and one more possession, or conversion, excuse me. But this is kind of what you want your rookies to see. This is probably another matchup you're going to see soon. You guys play Clemson October 25th. And just looking at some of their stats, they seem like a tough, well put together team.
Solid program for Clemson, that's for sure. NC State player back up. A good thing to see.
You can't really see what number is getting carried off, but we wish them a speedy recovery.
Definitely.
And if you're NC State right now, one of your players just got hurt. you truly now want to get to the try zone for them.
Start gunning for it.
And it looks like NC State's talking about their strategy right now with Coach.
Definitely. We've mentioned before it is NC State's alumni weekend, and the coach right there, Coach Red, also known as Katie Walls, is a team alum alongside 4 other coaches, I believe. Our only coach who is not a team alumni is a guy, so he couldn't be. But that would be our head coach, Jeff, who works at NC State along a coaching team of alumni.
And Albert said to Technician, if you can try it and don't like it, at least you tried something new, and talking about the women's rugby team. And she also said, if you like it, you've got an entire family, community, and support system for fun. And truly, I feel like you can feel the embracing of your team right now.
That's for sure. It is a big team, and I believe Carolina's also had a historically fairly large team. I'm not sure about this year, but NC State usually does for sure, especially these recent years. We're seeing another scrum, a resetting of the scrum. Carolina with the ball. Likely going to kick right out the back of this scrum right now, but we will see. Ball getting pushed back, and there's the kick to the middle of the field. Not kicking for touch. An interesting choice. The ball bobbled a little bit, and it is called a knock on another scrum. Ball to Carolina.
We saw a great kick from Carolina.
Yes, almost making it to midfield.
I'm wondering what their strategy out of this scrum is going to be.
Those 8-man picks for NC State have been working fairly well. I'm not sure if Carolina will do the same. The ball goes in towards the Carolina side. Ball comes out to the hands of the scrum half. Almost falls. Gets back out. A long pass, stutter step, right to the NC State defense. Goes down by a rookie for NC State. A short kick right into the hands of NC State. Right here on the sideline. And there's Kiana blazing through that UNC defense. With support right behind her, that's what you want to see if you're NC State.
Knocked loose from Kiana's hands.
And that's a penalty ball to NC State. A quick tap for Kiana. Ball stolen by Carolina illegally. Another penalty for NC State.
Little quick tap there. NC State has gained some meters right now.
Ball going out wide. We're going to see a backs plays here, see what they have in store. Gets cut short. Going to come back this way.
Took some time to set up that rut to kind of make sure they had someone there.
Inching closer to that NC State try zone. Every time I look up, Kiana has the ball somehow.
Every play she has the ball, you truly want to tune in.
You don't want to be on Carolina when she has the ball, especially defending her. NC State gone to the wing, and an NC State try right here near the sideline. That's going to be an odd position for the conversion, but an NC State try with a Carolina player down.
That was a great team effort there to get the ball into that zone.
Just another one of those, hitting it quick, going fast. All the things you want to see for NC State. The things that have been working on both sides of the field for sure. And yet another player down. Very physical game.
And we have about 8:42 left on the clock. UNC only leading by 2 points now.
This really is going to be a tough position for that conversion. We'll see if NC State can do it. If not, they have to fight to make it to their try zone once again and touch the ball down, not get it held up this time.
Carolina has done a phenomenal job with their holdups.
That is for sure.
Right now, we're just the athletic trainers making sure Carolina players all good, and then I think they're going to go for the conversion after that. But so far, with 8 minutes left, what are you? If you're NC State, what are you thinking?
Gotta keep rolling towards that try zone. You know, that UNC defense has been very solid, but you gotta find holes, read the field well.
Personally, I'm thinking I want to give Kiana the ball.
100% that too. She's been doing well at what she always does well, really taking it and gunning it.
But truly, you need your team to work together harmoniously to get down that field, because it's a game of passing, speed, like we said, strategy.
That's for sure. And a good strategy would be give the ball to Kiana and run support. So when she goes down, if she does, you need to be there to ruck right behind her. Because we've seen these aggressive rucks by UNC. Quick to get there and strong as well. With the conversion attempt, right in the corner, a very tough angle.
Difficult angle for sure.
Doesn't quite make it, but a decent attempt nonetheless. That's a hard one.
That truly is a hard angle from the sidelines.
Yes, I think I saw England miss that last weekend in the Women's Rugby World Cup.
So
And
even the pros miss it.
the pros miss it, and they emerged victorious, so it's still anyone's game. And we'll see how this plays out with the kickoff by Carolina going to NC State.
Great kick right out of the gate.
A bit of a line drive there. Bit of a stutter step straight into the Carolina defense. Pass out before she goes down. And a solid ruck formed for NC State.
These rucks take time, so do these scrums with 7:30 left.
They do, and when you're rucking, you really just want to get there as soon as possible, but also be strong and solid so you're not blown off. Ball's bobbled, looks like it goes backwards. It does, nothing's called. And there she goes. Kiana's gunning forward through the UNC defensive line, places the ball and picks up her own ball, goes back down and places it back to NC State. Ball's bobbled.
That was what NC State needed. They got that momentum from Kiana.
Definitely, 100%. Getting a little closer to that midfield line.
NC State has wasted no time to get upfield.
And a penalty, I believe, hands in the rug, going to NC State. Kiana with a quick tap. You do not want to be on Carolina seeing that right now. I would be terrified. I guess that's why I'm right here, though. Sending it out to the backs, getting it out to the wing. Couple more passes is what you want to see from NC State. A very high tackle by Carolina right around the neck. You cannot do that. A safety concern. The sir's going to have a few words with the perpetrator.
Kiana with the ball again, spearheading your offense.
Get her down with the buddy tackle is the way it's worked tonight for Carolina.
I don't think I've seen her be tackled by one person so far.
I don't know if I have in 3 years.
But with your key player, that's what you like to see.
Definitely. UNC with the interception. Sending the ball out. You want to see NC State be a little more aggressive on defense, but the knock-on's going to lose it for them. We're going to see a scrum to NC State. With almost 5 minutes left in the game, you're seeing a lot of tired athletes out there, and understandably so.
You hear the cowbell on the side, on NC State's sideline, they're awfully close to try zone, trying to drum up some more offense and energy.
That's for sure. An 8-man pick by Kiana, heading towards the wing position, towards the sideline, getting taken down.
NC State's looking for those pockets between Carolina's defense right now.
Yes, a scrum half in, another pick. And NC State's going to take some time, get the ball out. And Carolina takes the ball advantage. Carolina scrum, Carolina.
If you're NC State, you don't want to run yourself into coverage. We saw that on kind of like the last 2 plays, but Carolina now has the ball.
Yeah, time is dwindling here. If you're NC State, you need to be mindful and strategic with what you do with the ball.
And your positioning as well.
Big scrum right here in between State and Carolina. Carolina has the ball. They're going to have to reset.
And the clock is ticking down. So is NC State's opportunity to come back from behind and win this.
That's for sure. The ball's out. Carolina scrum half whipping the ball out. Getting it out to that far wing if you're NC State. You want a big hit here or at least get the ball out of bounds. But coming back into the middle of the field, a little switch by Carolina's offense.
That pass was made by number 22, Macy, on Carolina, who scored the first try for them. She's been a key player for them with amazing speed.
A fallen ruck for Carolina. NC State snags the ball. That's blue. NC State with the ball again, trying to get set up. Like we said, you want to be mindful. The ball's bobbled. Nothing goes forward, so we're still playing. We're running forward. And NC State's grabbing some meters right now while there's still minutes left in this rivalry matchup. Ball rolls forward. That's a knock on. UNC has advantage.
We've seen a lot of back and forth just these past couple of minutes. We have about 2 minutes left. And Macy has the ball. Not someone you want with the ball.
Right here on the sideline. She steps out. That's going to be a line out. NC State ball. If you're NC State, you're trailing by 2, just under 2 minutes left in the game. Line out right in front of your home bench on Alumni Weekend is not a bad place to be.
No, and if you're NC State, you want to get this line out, set up, and started quickly. We're at 1:30 left.
Quick sub while they still can. Alex is heading in for NC State. Line out. Over to Kiana. Kiana's gotten it through the UNC defense.
Where's the trainer?
right into contact like she's been doing. NC State whipping the ball out.
See NC State trying to form a ruck. Quick pass through.
A bit of miscommunication there, but all is well. NC State still with possession on the wing.
Got to be careful on that wing over there. Might force another line out with 40 seconds left.
You have to be quick here. That's not what you want to see. A turnover Carolina ball, and she's gonna no one to contest her. NC State's center trying to make a run for it, but will not take it. UNC seals the deal. Just over 20 seconds left on the clock with another try.
That try was scored by number 22, Macy, which with her second try of this match.
An electric player on the Carolina team this evening. The clock will run out. Still allowing time for that conversion. Conversion does not go in, and that is game.
Carolina takes home the win, 17-10. NC State's next opponent is Clemson, October 25th. All right, and we will be back with more after this.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
We talk forever about the future. Worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go. From ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make. With bright ideas, new tools, and a wolf pack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better.
Oh, don't forget about hot ovens or hot peppers.
Hot springs, hot chocolate,
Hot sandwiches.
Ooh,
hot soup, hot air balloons, hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese. Sorry.
Potbelly, we bring the hot.
Hello and welcome back to Upper Method Field. I'm Grace Motto, joined by Allison Potter. The final score was 17-10 with UNC taking the lead. Allison, what do you have to say for that amazing, I have to say it was kind of back and forth for a while there. What do you have to say about that match?
It was back and forth for a while. Like you said, a lot of held up try attempts by NC State. A loss is a loss, but it's really what you want to see with a lot of rookies thrown into the mix, some for the first time, some never playing more competitive game like you saw tonight. Even though it was a friendly, you know, it's a rivalry, everyone's putting it out there, and it's a great thing to see for NC State, especially moving forward with that rookie class.
And like you are talking about the rookies, you never really want to see a loss in the L in the column, but this is kind of a learning moment. So as an NC State former player, what would you kind of take from this loss?
Yeah, like you said, no one likes to lose, and over here, no one likes to lose to Carolina. So they're going to learn from their mistakes. Technically, I saw a lot of good things out there for tonight for NC State, even though they did lose. A lot of good rucks formed, a lot of good ball placement, and just playing the plays that NC State I know practices every day and every week. So it's a good thing to build off of, definitely.
And their offensive strategy, I have to say, they held their own in Carolina's not their tri-zone, but in NC State's tri-zone. They were close there. They had a few holdups, but what do you think about that?
Yeah, NC State did a lot of plowing, which means you're just right there in the tri-zone. You're just trying to push it forward. People get clumped. Technically, they did fairly well, but UNC just did a better job at holding the ball up, which we saw multiple times tonight.
And after this loss, they're playing Clemson October 25th. What's the message for that?
They're going to be right back here. Clemson's another solid team. That's a matrix match. It counts. It goes towards their records. It does all the things. So just hopefully building on a bigger and better Wolfpack squad after this loss tonight.
Well, thank you, Allie. I'm Grace, joined by Allie, and thank you for watching.